everybody and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about hamster behaviours. So it's very important to understand what your hamster's showing in their behaviour. So we're now going to talk about that today. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is bar biting. Now this is the most common behaviour seen in hamsters, but this is not normal. If your hamster bites on their cage all day, all night and all the time, this is because they're stressed due to being bored, or being in too small of a cage, or possibly having overgrown teeth. When they bite the bars, they can suffer from problems with broken teeth, misaligned teeth, mouth to facial injuries. Now, for the first part, your hamster will do it to entertain themselves, but some hamster owners, like myself, recommend that you take them out of their cages and have some bonding time with them. So you can either put them in a playpen or in a bathtub, put some of their toys in there and let them have some playtime in that. And then that way you can also bond with them that way as well. So it's really easy. Another thing to try is to buy your hamster some chewing toys. Now these can help trim their teeth down, as you've seen in my previous videos. You can also give them cardboard. So you can use cardboard out of your empty loo rolls, and you can also use any cardboard from cardboard boxes. But please make sure that they have absolutely no ink on at all, because ink is harmful to animals, especially hamsters. If these ideas don't work, then it could mean that it's cage related, which means that your hamster's cage is too small. Now, all hamsters of any breed should have at least 80 by 50 by 35 sized of cage. Now, this has also been recommended by the RSPCA and Wood Green Animal Charity. So I would recommend that you do not buy any small cage from Pets at Home, because all their cages are really small, and I will show you as to how small they are. Now this is one of Pets at Home's smallest cages, and as you can see it is a very small cage. This, I believe, is not just the smallest one they do. They do small ones which are like hamster carrier ones. But this cage is just too small for any hamster at all. The depth isn't big enough, so it's just not big enough. So I will show you the right size cage to get. Now you can see the size difference between the small cage to the Alaska. Now the Alaska cage is a lot bigger than the smaller one. So the Alaska cage, as you know, has more floor space for your hamsters. You can fit more toys in them as well. And it's just got more space for them to burrow in. And as you can see, our baby Cookie is fast asleep at the moment, which he's burrowed and he's made a nest. So please, I am begging you, do not buy any small hamster cage from Pets at Home, because Pets at Home sell cages that are really small and are not suitable for hamsters. Now, they've only just started selling the Savic Plaza and one other normal cage on there, which everyone's been trying to get them to do for at least over 2 years now. But they're finally doing it. So please, if you go and buy a cage from Pets at Home, make sure that it's the recommended size. So the next thing to look out for is monkey barring. If your hamster is climbing on top of the cage and is hanging from the top or crawling along the roof from bar to bar, looking like a monkey, this can also be a sign of stress or trying to find a way of escaping. To stop this, you could increase their cage size and give your hamster more toys to stop this. So now we're going to talk about hamsters hissing, squeaking and chattering of their teeth. So the first thing we're going to discuss about is hamsters chattering of their teeth. When your hamsters chatter their teeth, this is a way of communicating to you and to show that they do not want company at this current time. If you do not back off and stay away from them, they will come back and bite you. So now I'm going to talk to you about hamster hissing. Now, when a hamster hisses, this is the loudest noise that you'll ever hear them make. This usually happens when they're in a crouched position and when they've got their mouth open and showing teeth and when they've got their paws raised. Now, when a hamster hisses, this usually means that they're frightened, scared or startled. So now I'm going to talk to you about hamster squeaking. So when a hamster squeaks, this usually happens when they first move into their new home. Now this could be because they're agitated and scared, but once they've settled into their new home and once they've been tamed, they shouldn't do this anymore. So now I'm going to talk to you about scent marking. Now scent marking is a perfectly normal behaviour for hamsters and it's very common. Now you might see your hamster wander around their cage and rubbing their hips or their sides on the bars and the bottom of the cage. Now this is where they're leaving their territory and leaving their scent on things. Now dwarf and Chinese hamsters have scent glands on their stomach, whereas Syrian hamsters have one scent gland on each hip. So I'm now going to talk to you about hamsters' stuffing cheeks. All hamsters have unique stretchy cheeks that are used to store food and carry bedding. These large pockets are evacuations of the oral mucosa and can stretch all the way back to the hamster's shoulders. In the wild, hamsters use their cheeks to bring back food to their burrows. This habit led to the name, which roughly translates to minister saddlebags in the local Arabic dialect where they're from. Hamsters, like other animals, have two cheeks. Sometimes they stuff both their cheeks with food and sometimes they only stuff one. It is normal for hamsters to carry their food around or back to their beds via their cheeks. So now I'm going to talk to you about hamster burrowing. Now when a hamster burrows, it means that they enjoy the space and want a deep bed to lay in. Now I would suggest that you have a big cage for this and to give them at least 3 to 4 inches of bedding. Now some say at least 5 to 6, but I think that is a bit much. So in my opinion, which is what I do, I give them up to 3 to 4 inches of bedding and they absolutely love it. Now I'm going to talk to you about what to do if your hamster escapes. Now I know this because I've got 3 hamsters in my home that are escape artists. Now you've probably seen in most of my pictures that they've got padlocks on. Now that's because Cherry, Fudge and Ruby are all escape artists. Now Fudge escaped on a boat and he went inside the hold and it took us about a day to find him, but he was absolutely fine. Cherry, she escaped in our living room and we couldn't find her for about 3 weeks. Now we kept putting food down and she came and ate it, but then she ran off and hid. Now we checked everywhere, we checked in the cupboards, we checked under the sofa, everywhere, and we couldn't find her. And then when we came home from shopping one day, she was in her cage. So we were like, right, shut the door and we'll lock her in it. So we did that. And then with Ruby, different story. We brought her an Alaska cage and she chewed her way through that. So there was a gaping hole about that big. So I'll put a picture in at the end of the video. It took us a while to find her, but eventually we caught her that same day. So now she's not in a plastic cage, she's in an aquarium tank. Now don't get me wrong, I prefer her to be in a plastic cage, but she absolutely loves the aquarium. So we're now just trying to get her some more toys, so she's more occupied. So yes, I've got 3 escape artists in my house. So now I'm going to tell you how to avoid this and how to catch them if they escape. Make sure you close all the windows and doors and put some hamster food on the floor. But please always be on the lookout when you walk around, as you might not see them and can potentially hurt them. If your hamster is hungry, they will come out for food. Look in every possible area where the hamster might be, including under the bed, the dresser, wardrobe, or behind the toilet or cupboards, etc. You can leave their cage on the floor with the door open, and when the room is quiet, they will get back into their cage. If this doesn't work, then the only other option you have is a hamster bucket system. Now, for the hamster bucket trick, you need a bucket with a stand, and for this you need to place some bedding into. Now you need to put at least 3 to 4 inches at the bottom. Now for the bedding you can use anything to Carefresh, to wood chip, to paper shredding, anything that will make it a soft landing for your hamster. So it is absolutely vital that you put bedding inside the bucket. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching, and if you found this video helpful then please like, share, comment and subscribe, and we will see you all again in the next video. Goodbye everybody.